Campaigning before the contest, voters head to the polls in less than 2 days to cast the first votes in a historic recall election primary. The candidates are looking for votes in every corner of Wisconsin. Fox 6's Mike Lowe spoke with them today. He joins us in the studio tonight. Mike?
Good evening, Ted. Governor Walker is all but assured of victory in the primary, so his campaign is actively trying to define the opposition. He says Tom Barrett and Kathleen Falk, the two leading Democrats, basically represent the same ideas, but he says only one of them is easy to typecast.
And that's why I know we'll win, because you're not going to stop, are you?
It's the push to the primary, and the major candidates crisscross the state in an effort to sway voters. Governor Walker met with supporters in West Bend.
I appreciate all your hard work. I appreciate the phone calls, the yard signs, the going door to door.
Mayor Tom Barrett attended a labor event in Milwaukee.
Are we going to get the job done?
Yeah.
And former Dane County Executive Kathleen Falk stumped in Sheboygan.
I want to go forward.
Walker reminded voters that he's also on the ballot on Tuesday.
Because of all the coverage here and across the state about the Democrats' primary, there's a lot of people who just presume, because they hear the story, they'll say, who of these four candidates will face Governor Walker? And it leaves the assumption that there isn't a primary. And so we don't know. We don't have any idea what the turnout might be.
But you're not worried about Arthur Cole Riggs?
Actually, I don't really know him more than hearing his name out there. But I think just in the end, though, we still want to make sure that people don't forget the vote.
Cole Riggs is the Republican running against Walker in the primary, but Walker's focus is really on the general election. Your advertising strategy seems to be focused on Barrett. You talk a lot about the Milwaukee job situation, and the polls indicate that he's got a commanding lead. Is that who you're preparing for? And in a short election, do you essentially need to move beyond the primary once you essentially know who it's going to be?
Odd as this sounds, considering he ran before, part of the reason our strategy is such is I think Kathleen Falk is more clearly defined that she's lockstep with the unions.
You got to chuckle, given I was the top manager, on the other side of the bargaining table from labor. So you got to chuckle. He's worried that I can win because I have strong support from working men and women, not the opposite.
But Barrett says the fact that Walker can't define him as easily is a good sign for his campaign.
Well, I think it's very troublesome for him, the fact that he can't pigeonhole me, the fact that I'm fiscally responsible, the fact that I try to work with people rather than divide people. And so I think he wants to make me a caricature, and I think that that's difficult to do.
Now, State Senator Kathleen Vinehout and Secretary of State Doug LaFollette are also running in the Democratic primary, but both are far behind in the polls. Back to you, Mary.
Mike, thank you. Count on Fox 6 for complete election coverage. The primary is Tuesday, and then the general election